there, it's that time of week again. Yeah, I'm a little bit late, and you're not supposed to do that. It's supposed to be a Thursday upload, and it's Friday, but who cares? So yes, I'm the Arty teacher, and today I'm going to be telling you something that is absolutely crucial for you to market and sell your art and craft. So you might be starting out, you might be well on the journey, you might have been on that journey for many years. To all of you, it's absolutely essential that you get this right. So I'll see you in a little while. Hi again, I'm back. So I'm going to talk to you about what is the key thing that you have to get right if you want to market and sell your art and craft. And it's true no matter what kind of artist you are, what kind of maker, what kind of crafter, you cannot escape this. When I do my one-to-one mentoring with my clients, one thing that always comes up that they have this realization that there's a necessary component that's missing or needs developing. And it's really relevant to their selling journey. It's absolutely crucial. So it's about what they are as an artist, who they are as an artist, and what their story is. It's also about them realising what their story is, articulating that, but very crucially communicating that story to the prospective client or the audience, because that's what, don't forget, this is what we're talking about. We're talking about marketing and selling your work. We're not talking about just showing your work to people and getting endorsement with comments and things like that and having that warm fuzzy feeling about it. It's about you actually marketing and selling your work. So how do you articulate your story and how do you communicate your story? You may call it a profile, a biography, a resume. There are all sorts of different words for it, but actually I'm going to call it an artist narrative. And there's a really good reason why I call it an artist narrative. Because if you say a profile or a biography, it actually implies that you can see it written down. And an artist narrative is so much more than that. It's not just written, it's actually the essence of an artist's work, and it's the essence of why people would buy your work, why people would be interested in it and buy it. So let me talk a bit more about this narrative. So an artist's narrative is a combination of the artist's work or the maker's work or the crafter's work and the artist themselves. So it's a combination between the two. So a narrative can be silent. Yeah, that sounds a bit weird, but it can be. So it's not written down at all, it's just silent. So for example, somebody looks at your work and they get something from it, and they get a story from it, they get a feeling from it, whatever that may be, and that's their own personal journey. But it's a narrative that they get. But let me tell you, 99.9% of the time, the silent narrative is not enough for the person to purchase it. This very rarely happens. Look, I know that, okay? I've been there at the face of it, doing it for years, and I know that to be true. So the narrative has to be more overt. So a narrative can be verbal and a narrative can be written. A narrative can be spontaneous, it can be chit-chatty, it can be sociable, it can be humorous. So actually a narrative can be really, really community-based and light-hearted. Hi guys, this is who I am, you know, you've seen all that on crafting channels and crafting groups, Facebook groups, the way, and crafting websites. It's a very, very familiar kind of big loving community family together, which is very different from another kind of narrative, which is sometimes quite formal, very serious, very deep, very profound, and purposefully so. And there's everything in between. All right, so narratives can be very different things. So yes, silent, verbal, written. Whatever the format or the style of an artist narrative, it always, either purposefully or not, or whether you're conscious about this or not, it comes from an artist, maker or crafter has really given some thought about that. Artist narratives don't come from thin air. They come from artistic processes, a degree of self-realisation, a consciousness about what you do, the intention of what you do. They really do come from artists who've actually given a great deal of thought to that. My one-to-one work with my artists and makers, we do a lot of work on narratives, and we do that very early on in the process. It's the backbone of everything. And we produce it. Sometimes it's a little painstaking, and sometimes it's just like really easy. It all depends about the consciousness of the particular artist already. But we articulate this narrative, and we eventually articulate it in written form. And we give it a real flowing structure. And we do this so it can be easily digested by any audience. The thing about this is that it gives great clarity for the artist, maker and crafter, not just the viewer or the audience or the reader or the prospective client, whoever it is. It gives so much clarity to the actual artists themselves. And sometimes they get this massive revelation. It's really helpful. And I'd go as far as to say that it actually then starts informing their future work and their future plans, because they start understanding what's come before, what they're doing now and what they're going to do. It's that crucial. So it's highly motivational for the artists themselves, and it's crucial for the audience and the prospective buyer, because it's that, along with the quality of the work, that will get your sales. Trust me. I'd like to talk about the actual basic structure of an artist's narrative, something that I've devised. And at this point, I'm going to say to you, I'm going to give you this for free. Okay, so go on to artintheheart.co.uk and search on the word profile. I don't like that word, but anyway, search on the word profile and my product will come up, because I've got my own shop on my marketplace, and that product will show up. It's for free, and you simply pop the item in your basket. It costs nothing, and then you can download it. You'll get an email and then you'll just download the document. Okay, so what are you going to find in that document to help you structure your narrative? So first of all, the art itself. Okay, so what is your inspiration, your passion, your style, your technique? What mediums do you use? What do you love? Why do you love it? What is your artist's concern? Okay, so if you're a fine artist, heading more for the middle market, what I call the middle market, then you want to be talking about an artist's concern, short, compact statements about things. Okay, we'll perhaps look at that in a future upload about the different sorts of audiences, etc., and different markets. Also, what is your preoccupation? What do you want to achieve with your art? What do you want to achieve for the viewer, for the person who's potentially going to buy your art? Remember, we're talking about selling and not the fuzzy nice feelings. Okay, we're talking about selling. It's not the first thing. There's a section about your art. The next section number 2, is the story. So how have you got to this point? How did you start off? Were there some interesting events? Sometimes it's quite emotional, like these incidents, occurrences. Somebody did something, somebody said something. There's these really beautiful stories that really are important. You're not lying, but hey, if you include it in your narrative and people know about it, God, isn't that endearing? And people will just warm to you. The story, everybody wants the story. So, where do you practice your art? Is it gorgeous? Is it quirky? These stories people absolutely adore. Sorry, I'm just going to have a slurp of my coffee. God, it's gone a bit cold. Never mind. I'm talking too much. Okay, number 3. How about your future? How are you going to develop? What are you researching? What's the different dimension? What might this lead to? Okay, so people love to know where you're going. They like to know about the journey. Okay, number 4, the facts. What I call the facts. What's your training? Have you got any courses? Have you done any exhibitions, fairs, shows? Have you got any awards? Projects, residencies, where are your outlets? Where do you buy your work? We need to know that. Okay, where are your outlets? All right, we'll come back to that. But the facts, what is your pedigree? What is your provenance? I love that word. Okay, so that is number 4. And some of you are sitting there thinking, oh my God, I've got no awards, I've got no prizes, I've got no exhibitions, no projects, I'm blooming useless. How can I possibly start this journey? Yes, you can, because what you do, your narrative is looking more about the art, the first part of this, the art and the story and the future. And then you might have done a few things. And then, the balance will tip, and then you'll be talking about the exhibition. It's evolving. Next section is press and publicity. So you might have been in interesting articles and things like that, press releases. What's the title of those things? Have you appeared in books and stuff like that? Some of you will have appeared in nothing. It doesn't matter. You just leave that section out. And then the last thing, really important, contact. How can people buy your work? So have you got a studio? Have you got a house? People come to your house, that's fine. Your kitchen table. Where are you producing your work? A little desk in your living room in a corner with loads of toddlers and teenagers hanging around. What's going on? So where can people buy your work? Have you got an online shop? Are you on my marketplace, for example? Do you do shows, exhibitions? Do you do open studios? Where can people get your work? Come on, okay? They need to know. All right, so the narrative, as you can see, is so important. It is the backbone of your work. It's the backbone of marketing and selling. It's fundamental. It's fundamental to you. It's a fundamental tool to marketing and selling your work. Without it, you're going to give yourself a very difficult time. Now, you can use it verbally, face-to-face, when you're selling face-to-face. Start changing your language. You can use it on your websites. You can use it on Facebook. You can use it in articles. get a whole narrative and you can start pulling bits out. Pick and choose from your full narrative. Now, if you think, oh my God, I've got no idea what that is, or I need some help with this, of course, I am going to tell you that you can have a full service, an MOT. You are a motor car at this point. You can have the full service with me. That sounds nice. Okay. On artandheart.co.uk. The service is really cheap. Actually, what you get out of it is actually the springboard to everything else, and it's just such a small investment. It's cheap, and the way I'm going to put up the price, because the service that I'm offering is getting new artists and makers with so much confidence now and moving forward. And I know it sounds boasty and everything, but I've had 38 years of experience doing this, so I'm not afraid to say it, really. But go on to artandtheheart.co.uk and search on Dawn Birch-James, and it will come up with all of my products. And one of the products is creating your artist narrative or something, and it tells you exactly what happens, exactly what I'm going to do. It's from start to finish. It involves soul search. It involves me talking to you. It involves me researching you and asking difficult questions and coming up with something that's amazing. And all that, I think it's 55 quid. Oh, come on, it's going to be hours of work. So if you want the full service, just pop it in your basket. And I would absolutely love to work with you, no matter what your level of marketing and selling is. Okay, so I've really enjoyed today, and I've kind of relaxed a bit. I hope I'm getting better at this. And again, please subscribe to my channel, because when I've got more subscribers, people think, oh, she's got something worth saying. And trust me, I really feel I have got something worth saying. And so if you subscribe, it looks nice for me. And also, if you press the notification button, you won't miss anything. All right? Happy narrative building, and get in touch if you need help. Okay, bye.